Welcome back to the PigSkin podcast. This is episode 13. It's crazy. We've already made it 13. College football week 12, I believe, and NFL week 11 preview weekend, or preview episode for the weekend, I should say. A lot of big things going on. A lot of big college football news breaking within the last few days. NFL playoff race is starting to really round into form. It's November. This is partly the most exciting time for football, college and NFL. Everything starts to heat up in November.
I would fuck football this time of year.
I would fuck football any time of year, but especially
this time.
Yes. So today we're going to break down, obviously, Oklahoma heading into Provo. Revenge game for Sammy Bradford, all right? All that shit, that fucking heartbreak that those fucking Mormons caused me back in 2009 as a fucking 8-year-old watching Sam Bradford's shoulder just disappear. Oh, my God, man. That hurt my soul. So, fuck BYU before I ever even understood Red River. It was fuck Florida, and it was fuck BYU because we lost the Natty and then Sammy got hurt. Anyways, that's besides the point. So we'll get into that game. We're going to look at some other potential games, a couple trap games this weekend. Also, the Big 12 consistently looking to screw Oklahoma. So I'm going to break down the tiebreaker scenarios, look into the rules and the not rule change, but addition that they made, whatever. Then obviously we'll get into NFL Week 11 and break those games down. So before we get started, we're recording this November 16th, Thursday. It's about 8:30. We're watching the fucking injury bowl between fucking the Bengals and the Ravens right now. Burrow's hurt. Lamar got hurt. Mark got hurt.
I think they're trying to figure out. They're playing a game in which let's see which team can just have the most injuries.
I think the AFC North is trying to play their way into Kenny Pickett being the best quarterback starting.
He's got the best record.
He does.
6-3. Watch out for the Steelers.
Yeah.
The terrible towels are coming.
They didn't watch out. It's fucking terrible something. Anyways, you got anything more to say before we jump into this?
No, man. College football there's a lot of stuff to break down. New playoff ranking. Like you said, the games that we're probably going to touch on a little bit. New playoff ranking is out. So Georgia's number 1, as they should be. They absolutely beat the shit out of Ole Miss. Ohio State's number 2, Michigan 3, and Florida State 4. Those are your 4 that are in. And then 5 through 9, Oregon, Texas, Alabama, and Missouri. So those are
Washington, Oregon, Texas, Alabama, Missouri. Did you say Washington? I didn't hear you.
Yeah. Washington, Oregon, Texas, Alabama, Missouri. Number 10 is Louisville. But
yes.
Okay. This is basically kind of what we thought heading into this season, that Georgia, Ohio State, and Michigan were probably going to be the teams that get in. Well, between Ohio State and Michigan.
Yeah.
We had Bama in there as well. Yeah.
But hey, this is exactly where Saban wants to be, though. Kind of on the outside looking in with an opportunity to get themselves there. So I do like, because there's been so much parity when it's come to the rankings ever since 2014 when they started doing the playoff. I do like this year. It feels like they're trying to settle some things down, because like you look at 1 through 8 has been the exact same last few weeks since OU lost, right? But they care about head-to-head games, you can tell, because I think Alabama is much better than Texas on a rating scenario, but in the rankings, Texas beat Alabama, so Texas gets slaughtered in front of Alabama. Same thing.
I think home too, so it's fair that they're above.
Exactly. I think Oregon is much better than Washington. Oregon lost to Washington. In a rating scenario, you probably put Oregon ahead of Washington. You probably favor them.
Like power rankings?
Washington is slotted ahead of Oregon on a poll because Washington has the head-to-head, which I do like. And it is good Georgia's back at number 1, because they, especially after the fucking ass whooping they put on Ole Miss and the ass whooping they're probably about to put on Tennessee, they definitely deserve to be there.
What team really matches up that could beat Georgia right now? Because I mean, they're
Michigan.
you think Michigan?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are saying like Alabama. I could
Well,
see
Alabama
like
too.
I could see possibly Alabama just because of the recruits and it's Nick Saban. But
Mhm.
if Jalen Daniels doesn't get hurt in that LSU game, I mean LSU. There's like a 50-50 chance that LSU wins. They were
They would
neck
have
and neck with them.
definitely hung in for a lot longer than they did.
Yeah.
Um,
But do you remember in the national championship halftime report last year when David Pollock was basically saying that Georgia was the team to beat and the look on Nick
mhm.
Saban's face? I think he
Yeah.
wants that. Like he's ready to face
Yeah,
Georgia. Like
I think so. And with that already being set as SEC championship game, dude, I don't think I've ever been. Well, not that I have never been, but this is the most excited I've been in a while, at least for an SEC championship game, because this feels like two powers going to war in a few weeks
yeah,
in
it's like the
Atlanta.
Big Bang.
Yeah, dude. As well as the game in 2 weeks between Michigan and Ohio State. That one's going to be obviously that one's essentially the Big Ten championship game because whoever wins that game has to play Iowa, Wisconsin, whoever they're going to
Yeah.
destroy them. So, good thing the Big Ten's finally doing away with divisions like everyone else is outside of the SEC.
Yeah.
Um,
There's just so many teams in the SEC though, like really
yeah,
good teams.
yeah,
So I think it
that's
makes sense to have divisions in the SEC.
SEC at this point is like its own little NFL, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Which the way that the NCAA is looking, especially we're going to talk about the whole Jacksonville State and JMU thing. These big conferences, Big Ten, SEC, the Big 12, they might try to do away with the NCAA and just form their own little league, man. Because
It's kind of like what like the Premier League in soccer tried to do with like the super teams.
yeah,
Do you remember that? Like they were
yeah,
gonna invest like billions of dollars to just create like super teams with like the best players that you could possibly get, but they shut that
that's
shit down real quick. So I don't know how that's gonna go. But with NIL and the way that college football is changing, I could definitely see
as
something like that
much
happen.
as much funding is behind college football and shit. I could definitely see them doing it. Like, I mean, you just look at like Oregon, for example, with Phil Knight. How
Yeah.
much money they get just out the ass. So, I could definitely see it happening. But yeah, do you want to get into kind of the college football news before we get into OU BYU?
I think we should keep talking about the playoff rankings
Okay.
because it's interesting. Well, it's not interesting, but it's more okay. It kind of is interesting. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it's interesting because with
Mhm.
NIL and the way that everything is working out with like the new conference realignments and like the new teams joining, there was supposed to be more parity in college football. So it was gonna let the tier like 3 and tier 4 programs. It helps them compete, and especially having a 12-team playoff in 2025 or 2026. It's supposed to let those teams that are maybe tier.
2024.
It's gonna be 2025.
2024.
Really?
It's next year, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
when did they change that?
That's been how it's been set.
I swear to God, I thought it was 2025.
Mm-mm.
Those fake news reporters, they always get me. Fuck. I've been got.
Connor Stallions got you, man.
Dude, I've been got.
You've been had.
Okay, that's fine. Whatever, 2024. It's going to allow the tier 3 teams to get in. Like your
Yeah.
Penn States, the teams that just
Are
can't get over
always
the
on
hump.
the outside looking in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's really parity. I mean, you can try as hard as you can. Right now, it looks like it's always going to be Georgia, Ohio State, or Michigan, or Alabama, possibly like Oklahoma whenever they round into shape. Because Oklahoma was like always in the playoffs, like 2015,
Yeah.
2015, 2017, all the way until 2019.
Yeah.
So
It was
those teams are always,
15, 17, 18, 19, right? Yeah.
yeah. So those are teams that are always in, but those are teams that always get like the blue chip 5-star, 4-star players.
Yeah.
So players matter.
Yeah.
Like getting the 5
Well,
stars,
yeah,
getting the
college
big
football
guy.
is a talent acquisition thing
Yeah.
at its most basic level. So,
So you're
um,
not going to get these small teams coming in. And so that's why you've got teams like Georgia, Ohio State that are always going to be competing for a national title because they've got
the
the
money.
coaches. Well, they've got the money. Their program is in good shape. There's no dysfunction in the program or like the administration or their athletic director is, great. Then you've got them being a blue blood program or them being like a high end program, the guys are going to want to go there. They're going to want to get the best that they can and show their product on the field to get drafted. And so that's why these teams are always going to be in the playoffs, or these teams are always going to be competing for national titles, unlike Louisville or Ole Miss or Missouri or some of these teams that are attractive because they're in a big conference. They're not getting the 5 stars that Georgia, Ohio State, Alabama are.
That's where I think the transfer portal comes in to level things out. Because my thoughts on the transfer portal, and I think I've talked about it a couple times on the podcast. By the way, D.D. Westbrook, go crazy. Love it. That's why I think, look at TCU last year. I think TCU, there's about 5 or 6 teams in the country.
It's like an anomaly, though.
Yeah. But here's the thing. I think there's about 5 or 6 teams, maybe closer to 10 teams in the country that could be a pop team where they pop every now and then. I think TCU and SMU are 2. I think UCF is 1. I think Georgia Tech could be 1. Tulane, you see, do it every now and then. I think UCLA is another one. I mean, they're a blue blood, but I would
say UCLA. Yeah, I agree with you on that. But that's once in 10 years,
But the reason I say that is with the transfer portal, think about it. So think about the big markets in college football to where these high school kids come from. You got Florida, Texas, Georgia, California, and Louisiana. Right? Those are your big states for high school recruiting. Well, think about all these kids leave. They go to Michigan. They go to Ohio State. They go to fucking Oregon. They go to fill in the blank here, Clemson. They go to these schools around the country. Things don't work out there. Maybe they're not as talented as their ranking or their recruiting stars would have suggested or anything like that. So what do? They want to come home, right? Well, they want to come home, but still want to play for a power program. TCU is a Power 5 program. SMU is soon to be a Power 5 program. Tulane is one of the top Group of 5 schools. Georgia Tech's Power 5. UCF is Power 5. So you go to these schools that are still in big-time conferences, and you were one of the top recruits coming out of high school, but now it's business. Now it's not about the money. Now it's not about, what's cool, what gear you want to wear, where they're recruiting you the hardest. No, now it's about putting as good of tape out there as you can and setting yourself up for the NFL. So you come back to these TCUs, UCF, Tulane, SMU, and you get enough of those guys in, every now and then, they pop.
Depends on how good of a player they really are, though. TCU,
right?
They did have studs, I will say. I mean, Max Duggan was a good quarterback. Quentin Johnson was a good receiver, a good college receiver. And then they had guys on their defense as well. So, yeah, you're right. You may see a tier 3 team that gets in it once in a while and competes for a national championship. But it's most for at least the next 10 or 15 years, it's going to be your blue blood programs or your up and coming Georgia. Those are going to be the guys that are always competing.
Yeah, it's always going to be the same schools. And I've been one that's been against playoff expansion because I like college football at its core, right? When the BCS thing about it was 2. And everyone always obviously complained about that. We need more. But it's but every game mattered, right? And with 4 teams, every game still matters.
I wouldn't be opposed to a 6-team playoff where you get your 2 best, your 1 and 2 get a bye.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got 3 going up against 6 and then 5 going up against 4.
Yeah.
And then you go and you play those teams like Georgia and Ohio State and try to get in. I wouldn't be opposed to that. I don't know how I feel about the 12-team playoff. I mean, it's already set in place. There's nothing we can do about it, so we just have to enjoy it.
Exactly.
But these teams
I think the 12-team playoff does offer some sort of – now, it's more football, which everyone's going to love, right? It's more playoff football. It's more, teams that get a shot at a national championship, which will keep more fans and whatever. But at the end of the day, I think it does do a service to some of the every now and thens that you get out of TCU or SMU or UCF or Tulane. You'll get one of those schools to pop every now and then it's like a fucking the movie Dodgeball. It's an underdog story. You get them in the playoff, everyone's going to be rooting for them as long as you're not playing your team. So it's fun for that instinct, but I still like college football at its core value where every Saturday matters. You look at the NFL, 7 teams get in on each side. All that matters is getting in the playoffs, winning your division, and getting a bye, right? You can go we've seen teams go 7-9 or 6 or not necessarily 6-10, but We've seen teams with a sub 500 record make the playoffs in the NFL. Like, that's crazy. That would obviously never
Very
happen in
rare.
college
It just
football.
depends on how bad your division is.
Yeah, exactly. It's very rare, but like you see it happen, right? You've seen 3 and 4 loss teams be the number one seed. And so, like in the NFL, you can afford to lose a couple and keep moving on, which fits the NFL model, right? Because there's only so many teams, and it's the best of the best. But in college, every Saturday matters. And that's
Yeah.
the most fun to me.
Yeah.
So,
Well, as far as these big teams, I mean, they're getting the 5-star players, which I hope Oklahoma can take advantage of. They got a really good recruiting class coming up, and I think 2025 is going to be. Yeah, I think 2025 is also going to be a good recruiting class, but you're not going to see TCU or SMU or some of these teams get as many 5-stars as like Georgia and Ohio State that are constantly competing for a national title. Yeah. But coaching also matters. Like, you have to be able to coach up, and
look at Oregon.
Yeah, Dan Lanning.
Yeah, Oregon was stuck in a rut for so long, and were so good because of their recruits, but could never get over it because of their coaching. Yeah. Dan Lanning's a fantastic fucking coach.
Yeah, which is exactly why Texas A&M let go of Jimbo Fisher. So, having like the number 1 recruiting class in, I think, 2021, and he had like the number 8 in 2022. He's got tons of 5-stars.
Yeah.
So,
hey,
you know what? We'll go ahead and get into that.
What was his name? David Hicks? Was that his name?
Yeah.
Guy that was like, hey, come on back to Norman. Okay. We know you're going to be putting your name in the transfer portal. Just come on back to Norman.
You think Brent and all them are taking a look at everybody?
They fucking better be, dog. I mean, as many players as they can get. Not that OU is lacking for talent. I mean, obviously compared to like Georgia or Ohio State or Michigan, they are not by a ton. Even to Texas, OU's lacking talent. But like I said, college football is a talent acquisition game. More of those 4 and 5-star guys you can get in, as long as they fit your culture, better chance you got it going far. So let's go on. And
it was 2022 that they had the number 1.
Yeah, the best class of all time.
Dude, Walter Nolan, 5-star.
They spent.
I mean, that oil money when the price of oil was up. I'm sure that they've still got the money.
Oh, but they have that money. It's ridiculous how much money.
I'm just looking now. I mean, Walter Nolan, 5-star D-line. Evan Stewart. I mean, I know Evan Stewart.
Yeah.
Shamir Stewart. LV Overton. They had that 5-star Connor Wegman. I mean, they've got, and like you said, David Hicks. So, but yeah, Jimbo Fisher, he was basically told to fuck off. His buyout, it's fucking ridiculous and hilarious at the same time.
I'd love to get $77 million to not go to work. Holy shit, dude.
Yeah, basically to break it down, he's owed $20 million in the next 2 months. So in the next 60 days, they owe him around $20 million. I think it was like 19.25.
Yeah.
And then they owe him $7 million in the next 4 months. And then from 2025 to 2031 or 2032, they owe him $7 million every year in that time span.
What you doing with that money? You put it in a CD?
Dude, you won't see me again. I'll be overseas. We'll try to record the podcast. I'll be overseas. You'll see me in the Bahamas in my lounge chair. Have a couple bitches in my lap,
Hey, dry martini. They're not bitches. They're whores. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no. If I would love to be a head coach of a college football program, and then my buyout just be this fucking insane.
That's got to be the best. That's got to be the. What was Ed Orgeron? He was like, they were like, "Oh, we're gonna let you go," and he was like,
$20 million.
Yeah, he was like,
he said, "How much you paying me? How much you paying me? When you want me out the door?"
Yeah, or he was there. Was it how much you paying me and what door you want me to leave out of?
Yeah,
or something like that. Yeah, fucking honestly, bro. He's on a beach in the Bahamas with some bitches right now.
Every once in a while. I mean, he's in Miami right now. He's like recruiting for him.
Of course he is.
And apparently USC wants him back. Which if he's a great recruiter, so I could see him. If things don't work out with Lincoln Riley, I can absolutely see them hiring him as a head coach.
If things don't work out with Riley, or if Riley leaves.
One of the two.
Yes. That's the answer is yes.
But you know what's crazy about this buyout?
Mention him at UCLA.
Yeah. UCLA or Texas A&M.
Yeah. back in the SEC.
Yeah.
Ojo, go Aggies.
Do you know? Well, I was saying Lincoln Riley at A&M. That'd be
Oh,
crazy.
that would, bro. If he jumped back, bro. Oh my, I'd fucking shit my pants. I'd be so insane. Who do you think gets the A&M job? Do you think it's someone at a big program right now? You think
So,
someone moves, or what do you think?
real quick before I do have some thoughts.
Okay.
I don't know. Like, this is a tough one because I would hate to be the coach of A&M. They stink as a program.
Yeah, but they have all the tools there to win.
Not until Oklahoma takes them.
77-0.
Yeah. But so you know what's crazy about this buyout? There's no offset in the deal if he takes another job. Usually, like, if you take another job, then they bullshit the rest of the payout where it's like, well, the salary that you're going to be making at your new coaching job is going to be a part of this buyout. No, they basically just said, hey, we'll pay you $70 million just to fuck off.
Did you see that clip where they gave him a plaque with it says Texas A&M Jimbo Fisher national champions, and they left the date blank?
Yeah. He didn't. I mean, people pull up the statistics like, well, he was like 50 and 20 something or 23 in his coaching tenure. He had 10 wins in like 1 year. It was like the COVID year.
Yeah, exactly.
So it hasn't been good, but
I mean, it hasn't been. Now, like, that's the thing. You look at that record at like Michigan State even is like, that's pretty serviceable to be a winning team. Go 8-4.
Michigan State had been in the college football playoffs at one time.
Yeah, but they're not a blue blood. Yeah. No, not that Texas A&M's a blue blood, but Texas A&M has all the tools to be.
Now they do.
Yeah, with all that money. But like, that's what I'm saying is you look at like hell, even Nebraska now, but you look at like a Michigan State. You look at fucking probably like a team like Cal. You look at these Utah would even take that 7-5, 8-4 every year, an occasional 10-win season. Like, that's good for them. But a team like or a program like Texas A&M, that especially with the boosters they have sending the money in, that they expect
being in the same conference as Georgia and Alabama and LSU, yes, and sometimes Auburn whenever they make a run.
It's a little bit, yeah, exactly. It's a little bit ballsy, by the way, for Texas A&M fans to expect national championships when they haven't won any. Because like an Oklahoma fan, we haven't won one in 22 years, right? Almost 23 years. That's a long fucking time. But we have a history of doing it. So like we can expect that. Texas A&M fans don't got a history of jack shit except for losing to Oklahoma and Texas. Yeah. So it's like, yes, with all the money there, yes, it's a big time program that's been there for years, but it's like you can't just expect titles. But they've also never been able to get the coach there. I think if they're smart, they take as much time as they possibly can. But that's the other thing with the transfer portal window opening and all this stuff. You got to try to get a coach in there quick so you can try to batten down the hatches, keep what you have, and go get more. So,
you think Texas A&M calls up Kevin Sumlin? Say, hey, can you pull a Bob Stoops for a second?
Imagine. That'd be fucking hilarious.
As far as coaches that might take the job, reports are saying that like the top, I guess, like coaching prospects are like Dan Lanning.
He's not going.
Well, yeah, you saw his press conference basically where he shut that down. He said there's a lot to be obtained here at Oregon. I'm not going anywhere, which I think is, you got to take it with a grain of salt just because it always happens in college football. Like a coach will say something, they leave. You saw Nick Saban with, Michigan State. Yeah, Lincoln Riley with USC, Nick Saban with Michigan State. I'm pretty sure Bobby Petrino told
Brian Kelly.
Yeah. Bobby Petrino told like the media that he wasn't going to leave the Falcons, and then he just like writes it on a sticky note and puts it in their locker room and just to say I'm going to Arkansas. So, I mean, you got to take it with a grain of salt, but I think it would be good. I like Dan Lanning and I root for him at Oregon, so I hope he has success and I hope he makes that program
also better. If he's doing that with Oregon, I'd hate to have to play against him in the SEC again.
Yeah, I know. But I think it's also better for college football if he stays at Oregon.
Yeah.
Like, just as a whole. Now, I think it's better for college football if Lincoln Riley leaves USC to go to A&M, just so you could see that there's that one coach that hops around, and then he's just never able to like succeed. but I mean, you got to care about defense. So, but people are saying Dan Lanning. I've heard some reports that it could be Lincoln Riley, just because now that USC is their playoff hopes are gone, and Caleb Williams is probably going to be gone. He might go to Texas A&M, which means Malachi Nelson might transfer if that's the case.
Yeah.
I've seen
I still
Dan.
think his best shot, if he leaves, I think it's for an NFL job, though.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I think.
Damn. So where does Malachi Nelson go? Because he was a 5-star.
I think, honestly,
He stays.
I don't know if he stays.
He's a California kid.
Imagine he goes like Alabama.
That's scary.
Yeah.
But he's a Cali kid, so he might stay. But they're saying, okay, so Dan Lanning, Lincoln Riley.
Kalen DeBoer is another one.
Some are saying Dan Campbell.
Yeah, that's bullshit. That'll never happen.
Yeah, I don't see Motor City Dan leaving the Lions.
No,
He's built for
ain't
Detroit.
going nowhere.
He like symbolizes, when I think of the Detroit Lions and like who their coach should be, it's Dan Campbell.
Oh yeah.
Like and plus they've got playoff hopes. Like their team is good, even when their
number
defense
one
is,
team in the North right now. So
yeah, even when their defense isn't playing well, they can outscore anybody. So we've seen it. We saw it this past Sunday. But I mean, at the same time, if he takes the job, there's absolutely no way Lions fans are going to be okay with it. But you could put it on the back burner that, hey, at least Ben Johnson didn't leave. He's probably the most important coach right now with how good their offense is.
That is true.
I think Urban Meyer should take the job.
Fucking imagine, dude.
Well, Texas A&M is a cult.
Yeah.
He's like the perfect cult leader.
Drink the Kool-Aid.
So I can see, yeah.
He's a drink the Kool-Aid kind of guy, 100%.
Yeah, no, he absolutely is. Get on top of the mountain, drink the punch.
Yeah. No, but I don't know who it's going to be. I know there's been some reports or some people have thrown Dabo's name in there. Dabo ain't leaving Clemson.
What about Jim Harbaugh?
Dude, imagine. That would
I'd be so mad.
Connor Stallions?
No, he's a Michigan diehard. There's absolutely no way he goes to Texas A&M.
Sure.
But with how much of a diehard that he is, I could definitely see him having some pull and becoming the head coach of Michigan, and Jim Harbaugh getting kicked out.
Yeah.
You want to go ahead and break
where Burrow got hurt? Oh, he got hurt throwing the ball.
Was that the warm-up on the sideline?
No, on the field.
Really?
Yeah, and I just saw him when the warm-up on the sideline. He couldn't even throw it. He's pissed, dude. I would be too. But sorry, we have the game on as well. This is probably the best Thursday night football game we'll get all season, or one of the best. But apparently it's a wrist injury, not his hand. So maybe he sprained his wrist when he I don't know, dude. Anyways, what were you gonna say? What'd you ask me if I wanted to break down? Sorry.
Well, I mean, is there any other news in college football that's happening?
I mean, outside of Jim Harbaugh in Michigan and the Big Ten settling on a 3-game suspension, which is their next 2 games in the conference championship game, they happen to be there. So he's back for the playoffs if they make it.
Yeah. Is there a scenario where they lose if they lose to Ohio State, but Ohio State loses in the conference championship for some reason? Is there a scenario where they get in?
Unless like chaos ensues and like Georgia beats Alabama, Florida State loses, Texas loses, Oregon maybe wins, or maybe Oregon State wins out and Oregon State wins the Pac-12, which is still fucking possible.
Maybe like if Texas loses.
I don't know because I still
Texas.
think
I mean, they're a long shot right now just based on what's been happening in the Big 12.
Yeah.
But if they win out and chaos ensues, it could be Texas. It could be Michigan. I mean,
it could be. Now, really, I think the only thing Michigan fans have to be worried about is the game against Ohio State because they have Maryland this weekend. While 6-4 Maryland's not a bad team, if they really beat the shit out of Penn State like they did with Sharon Moore, they'll handle Maryland like it's nothing. Then they got Ohio State. I think at the shoe. Are they in Ohio State this year?
Yeah. No, it's in Ann Arbor.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
So they got Ohio State at home, which is obviously the biggest game on their schedule. Sharon Moore versus Ryan. Sharon Moore, by the way, making a case for himself as a head coach soon. So Texas A&M, Sharon Moore. Just good. Yeah. Then they got the Big Ten championship game, and if they win
fucking love this
the
call
next
program.
they win the next two. They, like I said, if they would have had Sharon Moore win the Penn State game and Ohio State, he'll be fine to carry them into Iowa or Wisconsin or whoever, and then Harbaugh will be back for the playoffs. So, oh shit! Sorry, I'm fucking tired, dude. My bad, dude. I'll just do a line real quick. But
Sharing is caring.
I think Michigan will be fine. If anything, they'll be fine. I don't foresee Michigan losing.
So is there a scenario that a Big 12 team gets in?
Yeah, if Texas wins out. Well, fuck, I don't know. Look, if Texas wins out, and then let's say Michigan wins out, Florida State wins out, and Georgia wins out, I think Texas, no, because you got Washington and Oregon. I think
what if Florida State loses.
I think Texas gets in if Florida State loses. I think Texas gets in if Oregon State wins the Pac-12. Or like chaos in the Big Ten if Michigan or Ohio State lose. Fuck, dude. Lose in the Big Ten championship game. I think Texas gets in then. But I think as of right now, Texas is the odd team out. I think if Texas wins out, I think Texas is 5. But hey, Texas got Iowa State this weekend.
Ooh,
then they got to play Oklahoma State or Oklahoma or Kansas State again or whomever. So
we have 2 trap games. So we got Washington and Oregon State. Oregon State's favored. That's a trap game for Washington. It's hard to go undefeated in college football. And then Texas and Iowa State. Iowa State's always that one team. So
look at what they did to Oklahoma State back in what
got these trap games, baby.
I fucking hate you. I feel like you did that just for this. You look like DJ Dipshit, by the way.
That's my DJ name. Don't ruin it. America's Dipshit Award winner.
Oh, man.
But Texas, Iowa State. All right, let's talk about that.
Yeah, don't forget, Iowa State's the team that cost Oklahoma State a chance at a BCS title game back in 2011.
Do you remember that? Shit. Remember when 2017 Iowa State beat Oklahoma?
Yeah. No, I don't want to remember that.
Well, I mean, that's...
Remember 2020 when Iowa State beat Oklahoma and then we beat them again?
Iowa State's that team.
They are, man.
They're like Purdue.
Yeah, they'll jump up and grab you, man. Look, Texas does not have Jonathan. Are you going to keep those on the entire
for the rest
Texas
of the podcast?
for the trap game portion, huh? Texas does not have Jonathan Brooks now. Quinn Ewers is not 100%. What is it? JT Baxter? Is that his name? CJ Baxter. Sorry, I'm getting Tavion Sanders.
Follow the train, CJ.
CJ Baxter is going to have to step up because the way that Iowa State plays defense, how good their defense is, dude, they just put up now BYU is not the best team. They just put up 49 on BYU last weekend. So they can score points if they need to. I don't think Brocco Beck can really go shot for shot with Texas, but I think Iowa State's defense is set up really well to do kind of like what OU did. Bend but don't break. Because Texas still is not good in the red zone. They're still not good when things tighten up. They're good about 40 yards out from the red zone, but once they get in the red zone, they're pretty dog shit. They're one of the worst teams in the country. And red zone touchdown percentage. Iowa State has
deep plays. They need like 60-yard Adonai Mitchell.
Now here's the thing. Iowa State probably will not be able to run the ball. So it's going to have to be Rocco Beck winning the game for them on offense.
What makes you say that? You ain't got no faith in their run game?
Not that I don't have faith in their run game. I think Texas's front seven is just that good.
Yeah, you're right.
They got like 4 or 5 NFL guys in their front seven. So,
well, if there's any game that they need, that Iowa State needs a run game to happen, it's this one.
Yeah,
because
they're gonna have to
want chaos.
Yes, we do. We need it. All right, we need chaos. Now, we would have been fine had the Big 12 not changed their fucking bullshit rules, which we'll get into. But Iowa State holds Oklahoma's destiny right now. Obviously, Oklahoma has to win out, but all the scenarios we're going to talk about, obviously, OU has to win out to make it, right? But Iowa State holds OU's destiny right now. So everyone who bleeds crimson and cream gonna need to bleed fucking scarlet and gold because we need Iowa State to win.
I'm pissing scarlet gold tonight.
Or that might be a health problem. You might need to get that checked out. We also would need
just too much alcohol.
Yeah, it might be a health problem. You might need to get that checked out. We also would need either BYU or Houston to win against Oklahoma State in the coming weeks. Now, think about it. Oklahoma wins. BYU is going to be going into Stillwater, final game of the season, their first season in the Big 12, with the opportunity to beat Oklahoma State, knock them out of the Big 12 championship picture, and get themselves a bowl game in their first year. So,
are you saying that's if they beat Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, or if they just beat Oklahoma State?
No, they just have to beat Oklahoma State because they're 5-5 right now.
I don't know, man. I think BYU stinks.
They do. Their offense is bad. They have the worst offense in the Big 12 by far.
And I say that nicely because I get it. They're rebuilding, but they absolutely stink. They are cheeks. They're just not a good football team right now. I'm sure that they'll get the recruits and they'll rebuild. I mean, they're without their best safety or their best defensive player, their safety.
Yeah.
And it's going to depend on their quarterback. Is Keaton Slovis going to be ready to go? Their offensive line's trash. I don't know.
Yeah. BYU is they're going to get bent over and fucked this weekend for damn sure.
Yeah.
OU's got a shot to shut them out, man. As bad as their offense is, and if Keaton Slovis isn't 100%, I think OU could legitimately, this could be a 0 for the defense.
Yeah, high altitude, yeah, but it's not like they're going to Denver, Colorado. You're just going to Provo.
Yeah, I know.
10 o'clock game.
It is a 10 o'clock game. That would be the first in a very long time, I believe, for BYU to play a 10 o'clock game. It's still 11 o'clock. Body clock, so they're going to say 11 for OU. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, Iowa State, please win. Houston, please win. Kansas is on their third string quarterback, so I don't put much faith in it. But Kansas, be nice if you could win. We need as many 3-loss teams as possible. So
they're not going to beat Kansas State, dude.
No, they're not. They're going to get the shit kicked out of them by Kansas State.
Yeah. Really, yeah. We got to be opportunistic that Iowa State beats Texas. If you want to see Oklahoma in the Big 12 championship, either that or a miracle happens and, like you said, BYU beats Oklahoma State. It's really the only other way. Does Kansas State get in over Oklahoma if BYU beats Oklahoma State?
I don't think so because
we beat Texas.
Yes. So we have the common opponent victories. So I don't know. It's.
But then it's like if Kansas State beats Kansas, we lost to Kansas. So.
Yeah, but Oklahoma State beat Kansas State, and they beat us. So.
Okay.
We have the better common opponent against Kansas State. So I think that also plays a factor. But so the other trap game, we have Washington going into Corvallis. It's a night game. Crazy things happen in Corvallis, Oregon at night in November, man. Could this be one? Oregon State's favored 2.5. On a neutral field, Washington would likely be favored by a point or two, but home field baked in there. Oregon State's good, man. They got a chance to do something really funny as well. They win on Saturday, and they win next week. They're in Vegas playing for a Pac-12 title.
Shit. Yeah, they definitely. I'm sure they got their minds on that. They want to go to Vegas and fuck some strippers.
Yeah, me too.
Not just play in Allegiant Stadium and win the Pac-12, but
Well, every little bit helps. But
that's enough of my trap game attire.
I don't know, man. Oregon State's got a really, really punishing defense. They play really well. Their offense can score points when needed. They're not gonna put up 50, but Washington hasn't necessarily been the best team as of late. So
yeah, they've been struggling.
Now, they've been struggling, and you saw Oklahoma struggle for a week and then lose it. You know what I mean? So maybe this is maybe this is where they fall. You don't know, but it's gonna be a fun fucking game to watch. So I'm super excited for it.
It's a night game, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Who do you got winning? Just say Washington.
I'm gonna take the Beavers.
Really?
Take Oregon State. It's hard to go undefeated, man. I'm gonna take Oregon State to win.
I don't think Washington goes undefeated, even if they make the Pac-12 and have to play Oregon.
It's hard to go undefeated in the regular season, man.
Yeah.
I think Oregon State wins. How do you think? What do you think?
I'm not gonna pick. I just want to watch it.
Such a bitch.
That's a tough one.
It is a tough one. It is a tough one to pick, but I think Oregon State's defense is going to be just punishing enough. I think the team's going to have something to fucking play for. And I think that Oregon State's going to do it, man. I think it'll be a low-scoring game, though.
You think so?
Yeah, certainly.
Hammer the under?
Yeah.
Okay. What is the over and under?
Let me look. Tis. Oh, the line's dropped to 1, by the way. Over under 62.5. Yeah. Under.
Hammer the under. Yeah, Oregon State's defense is good.
Very good.
Who are you going to trust more to win that game, though? Michael Penix or DJ?
I mean, I trust Michael Penix to do it, but I trust Oregon State's defense to keep him in it.
Do you trust Michael Penix because he has 3 first-round receivers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a big part of it.
I mean, I don't know. It's going to
be
a good game.
Fun fucking game.
Yeah, that's going to be a good game. That, Texas, Iowa State, and then Georgia, Tennessee, which Georgia's going to beat the brakes off of Tennessee. But
yeah. Hey, Utah and Arizona's a sleepy good game to watch.
Yeah. Arizona's been good.
Yeah.
Like, ever since the USC loss, they've turned it around.
They look good, man.
Yeah, they do.
But it's fun to see a team like Arizona be good.
Yeah.
But
right. Iowa State beat Texas. Oregon State, maybe they'll beat Washington. OU's gonna beat the dog shit out of BYU. Yeah, I mean, I can't see. They have to beat themselves. BYU.
Yeah, exactly. And the way that they're playing after last week, I mean, they got something else on their mind, man. I don't see OU losing the next 2 games. I mean, I think they'll beat the shit out of TCU as well, but it's all about this week. Next week don't matter. You got to finish this week. Look, BYU's got the worst, the worst offense in the Big 12. One of the worst in football. I think they have like a bottom 5, not like 5%, a bottom 5 run game. They average like 128 yards a game or something like that. I mean, they're awful on the ground.
Be nice. They're just kids.
Oh, same age as me. I can talk whatever shit I want. Actually, I can't because I can't go out on the field. They beat the shit out of me. But their offensive line's bad. Their left tackle is really good, but the rest of their offensive line's pretty shit. Keaton Slovis, if he plays, he's been playing college football for a long time. But I don't think he makes enough of a difference to really give BYU a shot in this game that their backup wouldn't. Their running back isn't bad, but he's a backup as well. Their starter went down early. They don't really have great pieces at wide receiver. They're just not a good team. Their defense is better, but it's not good. They're just not a good team. And so Oklahoma should score 50, and BYU shouldn't score more than 7. So
look, if it's 50-0 going into the fourth quarter, and they decide to bench Dylan Gabriel, I don't want to see Davis Beville go out there. Nice guy. Oh, nothing against
General Booty.
Listen. Yeah, exactly. Nothing against Davis Beville. Nice guy. It's not because I think he stinks or anything. It's just you got to give the people what they want. Give the people what they want. They want to see a little bit of booty.
They do want to see
the world. Listen, the world needs a glimpse of booty, and what better way to do that than to let him jog out there and take some snaps in the fourth quarter?
I agree.
Start the chants too.
Yes,
they're gonna be chanting booty. So we want to see General Booty. I mean, come on, with a name like that, why wouldn't you put him out there?
Exactly.
I get it. Exactly. Davis Beville, 6'6", can run the ball a little bit, but it's General fucking Booty. So that's if it gets to that. I mean, if it's one of those where Oklahoma just stinks for a game, and it's a close one, then obviously keep Dylan Gabriel in. But if it's just a blowout, we want to see General Booty.
100%. Because Dylan's not making it to New York, so there's no reason to try to pad his stats for Heisman contention. Everyone already knows what Dylan Gabriel is. So,
I mean, if everything plays out the way it does, they might.
If he gets 8 touchdowns a game for the next fucking 3 games or 2 games, yeah, he could be in New York. I don't see it happening though. In my opinion, the final 4 or 5 is it 5 now? I think we had a discussion. I think it's 5 in New York.
Well, 3 make it to New York.
Oh, 3 make the final 3 is going to be like Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, and either Marvin Harrison, Michael Penix, or Brock Bowers.
I think Jaden Daniels has already made his case in my mind. If you looked at his stats last week, certainly. Like almost 500 yards passing, over 200 yards rushing.
Yes.
He is the best player in college football right now. Mm-hmm. And remember, just because they have 3 losses doesn't mean that you should count him out.
Hey, like I said, Lamar Jackson won it with 3 losses.
Williams won it with 2 losses before the bowl game against Tulane.
Yep. Who else? There's been other people that have won it with 3 or more losses. Anyways,
Denzel, he won it with 2 losses.
Yeah. Your record shouldn't matter. I mean, it should. If you're a fucking stud, but you go 0-12, you're not New York.
Well, it shows how bad LSU's defense is.
Yeah, they're awful.
They're ass.
They are.
And so Jaden Daniels is literally having to do what Baker and Kyler did for Oklahoma. Yeah. Or like at the beginning of the season, what Joe Burrow had to do for LSU before their defense gelled. Which the stats are almost similar. Obviously, Joe Burrow was an absolute landslide. There was nobody else that was going to win the Heisman over him. His stats, he had like 60 touchdowns, like almost 50,000 yards passing. Mm-hmm. But I mean, he's putting up. I think Jaden Daniels should win it. If he continues to play the way that he's playing and they're scoring 50 points and it's because of him, he's rushing for touchdowns and throwing touchdowns.
He's averaging 11 yards per completion.
It's crazy.
And 8 yards per rush.
It's crazy how long he's been in college football. Remember when he was at Arizona State?
Yeah, remember when he went and beat Oregon and knocked him out of the playoffs?
Yeah.
Oh, my God, dude. As a freshman?
Which that helped Oklahoma because then Oregon went on to beat Utah in the Pac-12 championship.
Yes.
And then we got our asses kicked. But
it didn't happen.
Yeah.
That happened.
It definitely happened. Yeah. Right. You gotta take the good with the bad sometimes.
But yeah, no, I think the final 3 should be Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, and then Marvin Harrison, if we're putting the best players there.
If Marvin Harrison has like 300 yards against Michigan, he's the clear-cut winner in my opinion. But Jaden Daniels right now, I think he can make a case. If I had to put money on who was going to win the Heisman or who I would pick to win the Heisman, Jaden Daniels.
It'd be between Jaden Daniels. Now, and I hate to say this because I don't think it's not just a quarterback award. Like it's definitely not. I hate that people have that spin on it. For me, I'd give the edge to Jaden Daniels, but it's between him and Bo Nix. But
unless Marvin Harrison just has his career game in the next 2 games, he's gonna have to put up like at least 600 yards.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's got fucking.
He's a clear-cut best prospect. Like as far as
Devontae Smith do his Heisman season?
I don't know, like 50,000 yards.
Let's see.
He had 2 games with over 200 yards.
Yes, he had against Mississippi State and LSU. He had 83 catches, 1,300. Oh no, that's in the first 10 games. What do you do the whole? Why when I look up Devontae Smith Heisman stats, why do you give me his first 10 games? Are you fucking retarded? That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
R word.
Retard. So he had 117 receptions, 1,856 fucking yards.
Where's Marvin Harrison at right now?
Wait, what?
Do you know how to use a phone? Do you know how to look up stats?
No, bro, it's being fucking stupid. Okay, no, there's no way, dog. Oh, that's including the playoffs. So he had, oh my God, 117 receptions, 1,856 yards, and 23 touchdowns. There's no way he did that, bro. That's crazy.
He was that good.
Yeah, no, he's okay. So his regular season was 98 catches, 1,511 yards, and 17 touchdowns.
They gave out the Heisman, I'm pretty sure, after the playoffs. So
Yeah, but it's a regular season award.
yeah, true.
So,
They
why
had to
did I
do it
just
on
go to
TV.
fucking Heisman.com? Jesus Christ, I'm stupid. So,
He didn't even
as
get
of
to go
right
up on the
now, he's
stage.
got. I know that sucks, dude. Remember the draft that year with Bill Belichick had his husky just sitting in his place. We were in fucking
All-time
what's his name's basement all fucking night. So right now, Marvin Harrison's about 500 yards short, 5 touchdowns, and 39 receptions.
I think Malik Neighbors has better stats than him.
Let's look. This is so bad of us. Yeah, who cares? Malik
We
Neighbors.
work, unfortunately.
Huh?
I said we work, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We have to go to our.
Yeah, Malik Neighbors does. He's at 72 receptions, 1,284 yards, and 10 touchdowns. So he doesn't have as many touchdowns, but he's got more yards and more catches. So I'd give it to Jaden Daniels.
I'd give it to Jaden Daniels.
So ridiculous.
If we
3,164
had
yards.
more pull, then we could raise like a fund to fund Jaden Daniels winning the Heisman.
Look, man, I've got less pull than a fucking Toyota Prius in mud. All right, man?
Yeah. Yeah, you do. You suck.
Thanks, bro.
Just like the Packers. But we'll get into that.
Bears are even worse.
Yeah, they are. Hey, be
Yeah,
nice.
they are. Oh, I'm going to be nice to you. Bears fan. Stinky. All right, anyways.
Is there any way that Dylan Gabriel gets into New York, though?
No.
No.
No. He'd have to go off for like 1,200 yards and like 24 touchdowns over the next 2 games. It's just not going to happen.
It's doable.
I mean, technically.
Just keep him in the fourth quarter.
Technically, I could do it. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
Unless, hey, could Drake Stoops be there?
I don't think you could.
No, I definitely couldn't. But I'm just saying, technically, anybody could do it.
You have to play in college football.
Yeah. Yeah, technically, if I was on the team, I could do it.
Drake Stoops could make a case. He's going to have to get like 800 more yards.
Yeah.
But he's nowhere near. I mean, just because the parity in their wide receiver core and like how many guys have a ton of yards.
Drake should win the Burlsworth, though.
It'll be Marvin Harrison.
The Burlsworth?
Oh, okay. I thought you said Bolitnikoff.
No, the Burlsworth, the former walk-on.
He'll win that.
Yeah.
But Bolitnikoff's going to Marvin Harrison.
Oh,
either that or Malik Neighbors. Maybe.
Marvin Harrison's. They're going to give it to him just off his name. And then people are going to be like, was Malik Neighbors robbed? It's like, maybe, but if we're truly giving the award to the best player, it's Marvin Harrison.
Yeah. So. To the best wide receiver.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Do you have anything else for college football?
I don't, outside of this OU BYU game. Do you really want to get into that? I mean, it doesn't really need to be a huge breakdown. I mean, Oklahoma.
I feel like we broke it down just fine.
Yeah, that Oklahoma should kick BYU's ass. So,
yeah.
Anyways, you want to get on to the NFL games?
Let's do it.
All right, man. You want to kick it off?
Sure.
All right.
This is week 11, right, for NFL?
I believe so.
We've got the Ravens and the Bengals right now. It's about an 8-point game.
Yes. And Ravens are driving.
Yeah. Ravens are probably going to win this game. Joe Burrow's out. So, unless a miracle happens. Yeah. I don't know. We've seen crazier things happen.
Yeah, my prize picks is dead now.
Yeah. The over's dead for sure.
Oh, yeah, certainly. Well, unless the Ravens just keep scoring.
They might score right here.
They're about to.
We'll keep up with that game as we go on. But Steelers at Browns. So, big news. Sean Watson is out for the rest of the season. He has to undergo a season-ending surgery.
Lamar Jackson's limping.
Damn, everybody's hurt.
Yeah, he just went down and got his. What happened? Oh, he just kind of rolled on his ankle. He was planting to throw. He was stepping out of a sack and was planting to throw, and he just kind of like rolled his ankle.
Dude, just don't get hurt.
Shit. That's been his thing. He always gets hurt though.
Yeah, lately. But
Anyways,
Deshaun Watson out for the
yes.
season. That has got to be the worst contract of all time.
It's got to be the worst trade of all time. I mean, think about what.
Well,
the
it looked like he
Browns
was doing. I
gave
mean,
up.
you saw what they did last week against the Ravens. Like it looked like Deshaun was kind of getting into his like groove, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Ah, I'm good. Fuck it, I got paid."
I mean,
What was it? Was it the whole 230 million guaranteed, or just like
yeah, it's 230 million fully guaranteed. Worst contract of all time.
Yeah, people have bitched about.
It's almost like you shouldn't give the guy coming off a season and a half rest.
Well, they knew what they were doing. It's not like they were just like, "Oh, hey, this is a for sure, like we're gonna win a Super Bowl with." Like they knew what they were getting into when they made the decision to let go Baker Mayfield to get Deshaun Watson.
Yep.
Unless they're organized, like unless the front office is just that fucking delusional and that fucking stupid,
It might be. It's the Browns.
they had to have known that it was a risk. They're like, hey, it's like investing in stocks, higher the risk, higher the reward. But I mean, this is basically like buying a stock in a company that I don't even own. Like it's just a dumb decision.
It's like buying a stock in GameStop at this point.
That was actually a very awesome thing to see when GameStop when they were bidding against GameStop.
Yes,
and then
bro.
the nerds just got together and they're like, no.
Save it. But yeah, no, I mean it'll go down as one of the worst contracts of all time. And I think one of the worst trades, especially the way that the Texans have been playing and all the stuff they gave up to the Texans. I mean, they're set, bro.
Like, the Texans escaped hell. If you really think about it. Like, they went through hell. Like, they had the Deshaun Watson issues happening. They trade DeAndre Hopkins to the Cardinals. It was like a disaster for them. Now they have C.J. Stroud and Tank Dell. Like,
Will
you've got to
Anderson.
be, yeah. You are so lucky.
Dude,
Derek Stingley is playing.
Jalen Petrie, Henry To'oTo'o. Like, bro, they have so many young stars, and they're just going to keep drafting more. It's like the Thunder at this point, bro.
So this is the best thing that could happen for the Texans. Like, Deshaun Watson is absolutely just ass. He doesn't even care to. He's like Jalen Daniels for Kansas. Like, he doesn't care to play, which Jalen Daniels is coming back, but
next season.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. That's going to be an interesting one. Cleveland's favored, but next game, Bears at Lions.
Yep.
Here's where I'm at with Chicago. I'm ready for the draft.
Yeah.
I have a draft scenario. So with Kyler winning that game in the fashion that he did against the Falcons with the terrible Cardinals team, Cardinals aren't going to let go of him. There's no way.
You don't think so?
No. I don't think they let go of him. They paid him a lot of money. They believe in him as a quarterback. I would love to have Kyler Murray on the Bears. That would be the only quarterback that I would want right now. Like, if Justin Fields doesn't work out, I don't know if they're going to play him again. They keep they keep basically extending him on his injury and saying, yeah. I mean, they're just milking the fuck out of it, and it could be Tyson Bagent for the rest of the season. But if Justin Fields doesn't come back, then that definitely means they're moving off of him. So here's where I'm at with it. Right now, they've got the number 1 pick and the number 5 pick.
Mm-hmm.
So if the Patriots and the Cardinals and the Giants just keep losing, then there's no way that we're going to be top 2 picks. It's just 1 and 5.
Yeah.
So you draft Caleb Williams. I think that's the smartest decision. If you're not going to invest in Justin Fields, you got to go after a quarterback. Mm-hmm. Caleb Williams is going to give you the best shot. And then number 5, you should take a wide receiver. Marvin Harrison's probably not going to be there. There's going to be the Giants need a wide receiver to go with Jalen Hyatt.
Cardinals could even take him.
Yeah, the Cardinals with Rondell Moore and Hollywood Brown. So
I think the Cardinals would be smarter to take Brock Bowers though.
You think so?
Trey McBride and Ertz. I mean, they're not.
Well,
Or
apparently
an offensive lineman.
the favorite to take Marvin Harrison right now is between those three teams, the Cardinals, the Giants, and the Patriots.
Sounds about right.
If Marvin Harrison's on the board, like there's no way that not one of those teams takes him, whoever's in a better
Yeah.
draft position. So the Cardinals may take Marvin Harrison.
I can see
And
it.
then Brock Bowers probably isn't going to be there. It would be idiotic to not take Brock Bowers. Like I get you have team needs, but this class is so stacked.
With just raw talent, bro.
So what I'm thinking, you take Caleb Williams at number 1.
Mm-hmm.
If Marvin Harrison or Brock Bowers isn't there, Chicago should take Keon Coleman.
Really? At 5?
Yeah.
Keon Coleman at 5.
Yeah. Or you think somebody else is better?
I
Rome
mean,
Odunze?
not receiver wise, but I think maybe I don't think there's a franchise pass rusher in this class.
Do you
But
see how good Keon Coleman is? Well, we just signed Montez Sweat. We can get somebody else.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I was thinking more like, see, okay, this is where my mind always goes when it comes to building a team, like building from the trenches out.
Our
So
offensive line's good. Our
Are they?
offensive line, yes, they've been great this season. They're like
I haven't
in
watched
the
much
top.
Bears football, so
They're in the top 10 right now. It's just the Bears are trying to tank. Like they
With Tyson
want.
Badgett at quarterback.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So Tyson Bagent, the story was fun. It was fun while it lasted, but you've got a good receiver in DJ Moore. Cole Kmet's really come on. He's been a lot better. Darnell Mooney's been good. But if you have the chance to draft another just stud wide receiver, you're off. Like Tevin Jenkins has been awesome. Braxton Jones at left tackle, he's kind of inconsistent, but
he's young though.
Yeah, he's young, 5th-round pick that actually ended up turning out to be a good tackle. Like when he plays, really their biggest need is center. Maybe guard, just because Cody Whitehair is getting old. Like he's in his 11th year now. Not actually 11th year. It's probably less than that, but he's getting old. And he's starting to become inconsistent. But he's had to play multiple positions. He's had to play left guard,
Yeah, but
center,
you can get a guard and centers deep in the draft, though.
Yeah.
You're starting to sell me on the Keon Coleman thing. I think the brilliant second-round pick for y'all would be was it Frazier?
Depends on if he's there. He's projected early second round.
Yeah, but y'all have an early second-round pick, right?
I think so. We traded our second pick for Montez Sweat.
Oh, that's right. You also traded one last year for fucking
Chase Claypool. I'm okay with it. It was an experiment. I mean, it was kind of dumb.
That is true.
It was dumb, but it was kind of an experiment. It was like, okay,
well, you weren't going to contend this year, so it's not like that second round pick was going to do much for you this year. So
yeah, but you can go and trade, or wait till free agency and maybe there's a center available.
Yeah.
So maybe if Jason Kelce wants to play another year and he decides.
No, I'm sure.
No, the Chiefs are not letting Creed go. He's the best center in the NFL right now besides Jason Kelce.
And the Packers took Josh Myers, one pick ahead of him.
Yeah. But
it amazes me that people had Josh Myers as the highest graded or the higher graded center in that draft class, bro. Creed was so much fucking better than him. I hear people like, oh, why did they take Josh? Like, well, technically Josh Myers was the better center. Oh, fuck you, Creed, bro. Creed walked on campus at OU.
He would have taken freshman. He would have taken you higher
with a 40 rack and natty light. Okay.
Legend. Yeah, Creed would have taken you higher with arms wide open.
Yeah. No, he definitely would have.
Yeah, there's no way. But Lucas Patrick, he reminds me of Troy Everett a little bit. He's a lot of fight, but he just doesn't have the giftedness.
Yeah.
So yeah, Frazier would be an awesome pick. But as your top 5 picks, Caleb Williams, if there's no other quarterback, like if we can't get Kyler Murray, which I don't even think that's on the Bears' mind right now. That's I'm probably the only Bears fan that wants Kyler Murray. If that doesn't happen, Caleb Williams, and if Marvin Harrison isn't there, Keon Coleman.
Yeah.
Big, physical, fast wide receiver. I think he's going to have a good NFL career.
Oh,
but
100%.
With that being said, the Lions are going to beat the shit out of us, so let's move on to the next game. Cardinals at the Texans. CJ Stroud is awesome.
Fantastic.
This is going to be an awesome quarterback matchup.
It's gonna be so fun to watch, especially if Kyler can keep things going. Because now that Cardinals team is bad, but he can will
He's
them
like the
to a
one
victory.
bright. He's the diamond in the rough.
Yes, bro. That run he had on that game-winning drive is still insane to me.
The
Oh
fact
my
that they don't
god.
call more design runs surprises me. But then again, Jonathan Gannon is a weird fuck who probably doesn't like design runs. He's like, I want my quarterback to be like a pocket passer, which he can do, but like he's best with his legs.
Yeah.
And I get it. Like he just tore his ACL. You want to limit how much he can run, but he's healthy now. Let him run.
Let Kyler run. Also, Broncos, just throw the ball to Marvin Mims, please. See that clip before the game?
Where he was like, he doesn't throw the ball to me
He
anyway.
doesn't throw the ball to me. Yeah. So funny. Russell Wilson looks renewed, by the way.
Yeah, he does.
Crazy.
But
That throw he had to Cortland Sutton. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting way off track.
well, we can go ahead. So we'll talk about that after this game since we didn't really get to cover it. I mean, I watched the game after we ended the podcast.
Too, yeah.
But on the other side, CJ Stroud has looked awesome. He has been really good. Like
He's
that
fantastic.
he's got good receivers. He's got a great coach too. They're missing just like a few key pieces to be like a real contender, like to make a deep playoff run.
Yeah, I think they're linebacker. Yeah, I think they're linebacker and maybe a guard or two away.
Yeah.
Maybe they need another weapon, just a weapon exit receiver, or maybe I think they could. Well, no, they have Dameon Pierce.
Yeah, Dameon Pierce has been good. You might, you
good.
might go into free agency and get like a backup for him. But with Tank Dell, who's been awesome, Dalton Schultz, he's been good.
Yeah.
Nico Collins has been good. Maybe you get just like a speedy wide receiver, just like a burner.
Yeah. Like a what an Andrew Anthony was for OU type of guy. They can just run your clear out, run your deep balls, run 8 to 12 go routes a game, and maybe you throw it to them, maybe you don't. Yeah, I could totally see that. Maybe they trade for Christian Watson and the Packers get a pick or two out of it.
You'd want
Just
that,
kidding.
wouldn't you?
I'm not sold on Christian Watson. Okay, I still think he can be really good, but I definitely liked Romeo Doubs a lot more in that draft. But
CJ Stroud, Kyler Murray, this is going to be an awesome matchup.
Yes.
I'm going to be watching this one.
Yes, that'll be fun. That'll be on my red zone on my phone because at least the next game that shows up for me here, Los Angeles Chargers are coming into Lambeau. And they're weirdly like one of the top, like one of the most efficient teams when it comes to like turnover margin and thing, but and penalties. Like they're one of the most disciplined teams in football. They're still 4-5, man. They're just it's a weird Chargers team. I think we've said it multiple times. I think Brandon Staley needs to go.
The Chargers are cursed. I've been watching the Chargers for a long time. Since Phillip Rivers, since Antonio Cromartie was there, Antonio Gates, when they had LaDainian Tomlinson. Do you remember in Madden?
He was out of bounds. That throw to Zay Flowers was insane. And he almost
Zay Flowers, he's been awesome.
Yeah, he has been.
I love being right about wide receivers.
I just love being right. But the Chargers are just
they're cursed. Yeah. What's a more cursed organization? Like the Chargers, the Jets, or the Bears? The Bears have their moments, but
yeah, no, definitely. I would say the Chargers because the Jets are kind of always just shitty, so you don't get hope. But like this Chargers team would give people hope, man.
The Jets had so much. We'll get into that in a little bit, but
they did.
Yeah.
Maybe it is the Jets, but no, I mean, look, Packers are treading water at best, but season's over, man. It's not technically over. Jair,
they're treading a shit river.
They lose this game, they're done. They win this game, they're still probably done. I'll say it every week this year. I just want to see Jordan Love look good.
Another one, man.
I want to see our young guys play well. Jaden Reed's been fantastic.
He has been really good.
He's second in the league in catches of 30-plus yards. Romeo Doubs is amazing. I want to see more from Christian Watson. Luke Musgrave has looked good. I just wish he could run, not like Bambi. Defense looks good. I want to see the team get healthy, man. It's weird that the Packers have just been one of these just injury-plagued teams, especially how young they are, dude.
The
It's really
Chargers have been the
confusing
same
me.
way. I've been
Yeah.
watching the Chargers for a long time. They used to be one of the most injury-plagued teams ever.
Ugh. What's really scaring me, though, is this offseason because I don't know if the Packers are going to hold on to Aaron Jones.
I don't think they do, and that he could be one like a true contender. Like if Houston gets better, maybe they get him to go with Dameon Pierce.
Amen. Aaron Jones is a top 5 running back in the league. True difference maker.
When you're giving him the ball.
Yes. When given the ball, he is a top 5. Hey, you know where I could see him at and where I could see him do some real damage? Baltimore.
I could see it.
As bad as it hurts, I could see it. Or even like
Can they afford him with the new contract that they just gave to Lamar?
at the NFL. I'm sure they'd make it work. His contract isn't ridiculous. It's like $11 million a year. It's not crazy. I mean, it's
like
a lot.
Top 10 for running backs.
Yeah, but it's not like it's insane. But he'd work out. I think he'd work out well there. Or even like a there's another team that was on the tip of my tongue.
I hope the Packers win this game.
I know you want us to get a worse draft pick. Yeah. I want the Packers to go out there. Look, realistically, I want the Packers to win every game they play. I just know it's not going to happen. So at this point, I think our first round pick, I think it needs to be a tackle. So maybe the dude out of Penn State, maybe Joe Alt out of Notre Dame. Been seeing that one tossed around a lot. But the thing is they have so much like young depth everywhere that it's hard to find a need on the team, even though the team's bad. You know what I'm saying? I think maybe safety. That's why I keep throwing
kind of what Chicago was for a while.
Yeah. I keep throwing Billy Bowman's name out there, not just because I love Billy Bowman, but like I think he could fit really well in Green Bay.
He's a really good safety. Like
and
he's put out good tape.
And
he's got the traits and he's got intangibles that a lot of safeties don't have. Like play recognition.
I think that comes from him playing offense though. So much offense as a younger guy. But he's also got he's got the range, dude. Like look at the pick he had last year against Oklahoma State in Norman, where he's playing like center field essentially, and Spencer's throwing the deep ball, and the receiver's like, "Oh, I got a touchdown," and Billy fucking flies across the field, picks it off, stays in bounds. Like Billy Bowman's insane, man. So I would love Billy Bowman, or even like interior defensive line. Like we have Kenny Clark, but he's getting older. Like we have Devontae Wyatt, but after that, it's like TJ Slayton. We have Carl Brooks. The other young guy we got out of Bowling Green. So it's like we have talent there. It's so young. The Packers are the youngest team in football by a fucking mile. So it's hard to find needs, but there's holes everywhere at the same time because there's nothing solidified yet. So I think the Packers need to stay away from tight end unless Brock Bowers falls in their lap. But I think they need to stay away from receiver unless somehow Marvin Harrison falls in their lap. You know what I mean? Like I think they need to focus on the trenches. They need to focus on defensive line, offensive line, safety.
That's what they've been focusing on, though. They've never drafted a wide receiver like in the first round.
I know, you
were so pissed when they didn't take JSN last year.
Well, he didn't make it to him though.
That's true.
He didn't make it to him. Now I was pissed when they didn't fucking take.
They could have traded up for him.
They could have traded up for him. No, they traded up for Jordan Love a few years ago. That's all the trading they do. Look, this is the Packers. This is what the Packers do. They don't draft. They draft quarterback, corner, linebacker, and edge in the first round. They don't typically take offensive linemen. They do it every now and then. Every now and then you'll see defensive linemen like a Devontae Wyatt, like a Kenny Clark. You'll see edge rushers like Rashawn Gary, LVN. You'll see Quay Walker every now and then, but they fill those they fill certain positions like quarterback, corner, stuff like that, like you see with Jair, obviously Jordan, guys like that. And then they let the rest of the draft fill in their needs when it comes to like offensive line, receiver, depth. They do that. I want to see them take an offensive lineman early, unless, like I said, Brock Bowers or Marvin Harrison falls in the lap, and they'd be stupid to not take him. I would love to see a late round running back, especially if Aaron's not going to be around for too much longer. I think they've made money in late rounds with running backs.
Is that ETN kid, Trevor Etienne from Florida available? Like, was he draft eligible? I feel like he's been in college.
Yeah, he's been in college football for a while. He'd be good. I wouldn't mind him. There was one kid that was on my fucking tip of my tongue that I would love. Damn it. Who was it?
Well, either way, I mean, we need to get on with this game.
Yeah, we do. But look, I just want to see the Packers play disciplined, good football, and if they lose, they lose. If they win, they win.
Okay.
With that being said, I think the Chargers won. So, next game.
Okay. Yeah, Giants at Commanders. That's what was on my list. Giants are dead.
Yeah.
Sam Howell's a franchise quarterback. I mean, he fucked me last week. So, I mean, that's what I get for betting against him. He's put out good product.
Yeah.
He's awesome. Washington's going to win this game. I mean, I've got faith in Tommy DeVito, okay?
I know.
He's gonna have one gig. What, you don't like Italians?
No, I hate them, actually.
That's anti-Italian discrimination.
That's fine.
I'm gonna get
pizza.
I'm gonna get the fellas on you.
Okay, please.
You need to go watch a full episode or a full season of The Sopranos, and it'll change your mind.
Okay, my bad.
Start slicking back your hair. I'm walking in.
You need to go watch Finding Hitler. Okay, get on my side.
Fucking Germans.
I'm not anti-Semitic.
He is very anti-Semitic.
I'm just anti-Semitic.
Clown this guy, fade his picks, and hate the Packers.
Hey. Don't do that last one.
The Giants, they stink. I feel bad for Brian Daboll. His team is not good. He has to coach a quarterback that just stinks. So, I mean, not really much. Yeah. They don't really need defense. Their defense is fine. It's just they've had to play a gauntlet.
Yeah, maybe a piece here and there. Depth, maybe, but they need receivers. They need a quarterback. They have Saquon. They need.
Well, Saquon can stay. I mean, they franchise tagged him. They paid him, right?
They paid a 1-year deal. They essentially franchised him.
Is he going to stay?
Yeah, that's true. They may have it. Hey, they got Eric Gray, man. They'll be fine at running back.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
they're bad.
I'm trying to be as nice as I can, but they are not good. And the Commanders are heavy favorites, and I agree with it.
Yes.
Next game, Titans at Jags.
Jacksonville should win this.
Yeah.
But hey, maybe, Will Levis has looked pretty good.
Yeah, Will Levis has looked good. I don't know what to make of the Jags. I really don't, because they should be a team that is like playoff contender. And a lot of people had them as like a Super Bowl contender, but they just
I think they will because their division's pretty weak.
But they won't make the Super Bowl.
No. Hey,
there's so many people that had
their division's
Jacksonville.
Weak, but you know who could win that division? Houston.
Yeah. I think Houston's better than Jacksonville.
Really?
I think so. I think if they played head-to-head,
I think Jacksonville's better, but I think Houston's playing better.
I think overall as a team, they got to I'd say as far as coach, Jacksonville. Quarterback.
Doug Peterson.
Yeah, I'd take Doug Peterson over DeMeco Ryans, at least right now.
Yeah.
Quarterback, it's kind of tied right now, in my opinion. Because, I mean, Trevor Lawrence could pop out at any moment.
Yeah.
Wide receiver, it's kind of tied.
Running back goes to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Offensive line might go to Houston.
Maybe.
I think that was pretty close, though. I think offensive line, you might swing it to Houston because they have a franchise left tackle.
Yeah. Well, Jacksonville might have a franchise left tackle, too.
Oh, forget they have Anton. They got Anton.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Anton. I'm sorry. I forget you're there, man. I don't watch Jacksonville football, so. I mean, I'll watch it, but not too crazy.
I can see Houston winning the division, but I'm sure they'll figure it out. They got spanked by the 49ers last week, 34-3. 49ers might be back.
It's a natural revenge game.
Yeah.
Like a get-up game for the Jags. I think the Jags should handle this one.
I can't believe I thought the Titans might make a case. I was completely wrong. Yeah. I feel like it's just because like it's Mike Vrabel, good coach. They're always tough and physical. Like they're always staying in games.
That's
And
the
so,
weird thing about this year's team is they don't seem like the same.
no. But
There's
Will
been some
Levis
sort of fall off.
should be their guy. Will Levis is good.
They need to build around him. Get
Yeah.
him young pieces that he can grow with. They'll be good in a couple years.
No. Next game. Raiders at Dolphins.
Raiders are 5-5.
Yeah, they're 2-0 under Antonio Pierce as the interim head coach.
Okay. You know, when you get a psycho at coach, good things happen.
Picking a coach is easy, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Look at how the Lions, they took Dan Campbell. He probably wasn't the best interviewer. Eagles with Nick Sirianni, he had a horrible interview. Like, I'm sure his interview was horrible. His press conference wasn't good.
They probably played the national anthem and he cried.
They probably sang their fight song and he cried.
Probably.
I belong here. But it shouldn't be that hard. If a guy looks like a stockbroker, don't pick him as head coach.
Jonathan Gannon,
or a marketing sales rep, fucking Brandon Staley. Yeah. Don't you pick a guy that's just looks like he breathes, eats, and shits football.
Not even breathe. Pick a guy that looks like. Pick a guy you'd want walking your daughter, like, and down a dark alley late at night that everyone's gonna be afraid of. Okay. You're telling me you're gonna walk into a room and see Dan Campbell and not immediately like almost shit your pants if you were thinking about doing anything bad there? He'll rip you in half. Yeah.
I feel like that I know nothing about picking a coach, but like you've seen like just some of the guys that are coaching right now and like who's working out. Sean McVay, he's kind of the anomaly because he's a fantastic coach, but he's like I'm pretty sure he's a fucking football freak too.
Oh, like, he is. He
probably has literally like a room just in his house that just has just pictures of footballs everywhere.
It's not even that. He's got a room in his house that's just all whiteboards, and he's just drawing plays.
He's not even drawing plays. It's just a football.
Reed. Yeah. Him and Andy Reid, dude.
So
I do agree with you though. You just need a guy that just.
And no disrespect to Mike McDaniel because I was kind of throwing shots at him, but Mike McDaniel's a brilliant coach. But whenever they have to play like a tough team, his teams aren't ready.
You know, Mike McDaniel reminds me of
who?
Kind of like a Lincoln Riley.
I can see it.
Young, new age kind of guy. He can be cool and funny sometimes. He's
brilliant, creative.
Brilliant play caller, very creative. Does a lot on offense. Has a lot of different speed, a lot of different things he'll throw at you. But I don't know that he can necessarily has the best culture and the best chemistry to win.
I'll say this about the Dolphins: they are getting healthier on defense, and that's a big thing. Like if you want a Vic Fangio defense, you've got to have the pieces, and they're getting healthier. I think now that Jalen Ramsey's back, they're missing just a couple of pieces, and they'll be just fine on defense.
Yeah.
So go beat the Raiders. They're 5-5. They're 500 team. That's a game you should win. And then let's take a look. I know they don't have a gauntlet like the Bills. Have you seen the Bills, the remainder of their schedule?
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Have you seen the remainder of the Bengals schedule? They don't play a team that's currently under 500.
So the Dolphins have the Jets. Remember how I said earlier that I think the Jets were better than the Dolphins?
The Raiders have a gauntlet of a fucking schedule.
Yeah. Well, the Raiders are in the hunt, so
yeah.
I think you have to put Jimmy Garoppolo back on the field.
You think so?
I think he gives you the best chance. Nothing against Aiden O'Connell. Nice guy. He played decent last week against the Jets, but the Jets couldn't move the ball.
Yeah.
And when they could, they would just dumb shit would happen, and they would penetrate the end zone, but they weren't coming in it. So, but the Jets, they have the Raiders, and then the Dolphins have the Raiders, and then they go to MetLife.
Mm-hmm.
And then they play the Commanders. That's going to be a tough game for them. Titans, they should win that. Then they have the Jets again. Then they have the Cowboys, Ravens, and Bills. Their final 3 games.
Damn, dude.
So if you want to be in the playoffs and you want to prove that you are a playoff caliber team that can make it out of the wild card, you have to win at least one of those games.
Yeah.
But the Dolphins should take care of business. I mean, we'll see. But Speaking of the Cowboys, that's the next game. Cowboys at Panthers.
Yeah, Cowboys are just gonna shit on Carolina, man.
They're needing so much for Bryce Young. I think Mingo will be a good receiver. Like I think,
Yeah,
like it's nice that they have Thielen in there, a veteran guy that can
kind of mentor.
Yeah, but they need everything. Offensive line.
Yeah, Ike
They
Iquanu is just not
they
worked out.
whiffed. Yeah, they whiffed hard, and that's
Just
gonna
like
happen.
he has every fucking. He's bad, man. But yeah, no, I agree. I mean, like I said, Dallas is going to beat the shit out of them. They need everything. They need running back. They need more depth at receiver. They need offensive
What are
line.
they doing? They're paddling up Schitt's Creek.
Oh, they're up Schitt's Creek without a paddle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's I mean, that's what it is. Like that's a bad. Cowboys are favored by 10.5. I think it could get worse than that.
Oh, it'll be. It could triple that.
I still have faith in Bryce Young. He's still a rookie.
No, I certainly have a lot of faith in Bryce Young.
I don't have faith in Frank Wright though. Great coordinator. He would be an awesome offensive coordinator, but as a head coach, I don't know. It just hasn't worked. You just have to settle your loss. Okay, it hasn't worked.
I just saw the Monday night game this week. Sorry, I'm jumping way ahead. That's crazy.
Yeah, I can't wait to get into that. But
Cowboys should blow them out.
Dax looked good. Yeah, Dax looked good. CD's looked good.
CD's been on fire.
Brandon Cooks.
They still don't have much of a red zone or running game, though. I think they miss Zeke or a guy like Zeke.
Well, it's because it's Mike McCarthy.
He needs a big guy. He needs Eddie Lacy.
Yeah.
Imagine, hey, you know who I think would do really good there?
In Dallas?
Yeah.
Eddie Lacy?
I'm talking about like coming out of college, who would do really good down there as a running back?
Who?
Jonathan Brooks out of Texas.
Yeah.
I think he would fit really well there. I think he'd be a nice 1-2 with Tony Pollard.
They don't use Deuce Vaughn very well.
No, they don't. You think? I think he should have went to Kansas City. Would have been perfect for him.
Yeah.
But or even fucking Miami would have been good for him.
Good story, his dad's on the Cowboys, so.
Yeah, but it's a weird thing about Mike McCarthy. As brilliant of a play caller as he is,
he makes his quarterbacks better.
He does. He doesn't do a whole lot with like raw speed or skill. Get robbed? Oh shit. He doesn't do a whole lot with like raw speed or skill though. He kind of just he lets his stars go out there and make plays for him, which works, but I think that's always been his biggest downfall.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Eddie Lacy was like the best running back that or like at least the most productive running back that's been in Mike McCarthy's system.
Yeah. Well, he had Aaron Jones for a year or two. But
yeah. Well, why are offenses so much more creative nowadays? Like there's no like you try to get way too cute in the red zone or you try to get too cute on a play call. Like it makes sense if you're up like 50 or like if it's like 21-0, you want to try something on like a shit team, which the Cowboys can do this week. Whatever happened to just like the old fullback, just I formation,
the old Mike Allstott.
Well, like your guy Kuhn.
Yeah. Rupkowski,
yeah, guys like that. Rupkowski, you need 5 yards, he'll get you 6, or you need 3 yards, he'll get you 5.
Yeah,
you need 2 yards, he'll get you 1.
I don't know. I've wondered that for a while, and I don't know if it's the roster gymnastics that they try to pull. It's like, well, if we cut this here, we can bring this guy here and add him, but never fucking use him. You know what I mean? And it's like it's like the weird gymnastics they play. I don't know. I don't get it. I think like you see teams like the Ravens with Ricard or Kyle Juszczyk in San Francisco. Fullbacks are still very productive.
Yeah. They're your best non-offensive lineman blocker.
Fucking meatheads, dude.
Yeah. Just go get a meathead.
Yes. Go get that's
what's missing. Like they get too cute now. Like
football, they don't have enough meatheads. Go get you like a Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
Just go in there, just fucking 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't play that sort of football anymore.
Yeah.
Unless you're in the Big Ten West.
Oh yeah, like your Iowas.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what Luke Fickell might be missing at Wisconsin. Maybe he just needs to get a fullback.
I think so.
But yeah, no,
Bruce.
That's kind of where I'm at with it. Let's bring back the old trips or I formation.
Yeah, man. Let's
Go back to
bring
old
back
school
the
football.
let's get the wing tee back out there.
Yeah. Exactly.
Or the full house. Oh my God.
Remember the
30,
full house?
32 personnel, no receivers, 2 tight ends, 2 fullbacks, and a running back, dude. Oh my God.
You can get cute with that play if you have like an
Oh,
athletic enough
fuck
tight end.
yeah, bro.
Yeah.
It gets you like almost like a little like where they kind of get down, like they take and hide behind the offensive line and pull like a boot fake action and then sprint out, bro. You can do all kinds of stuff with it.
You know how awesome the fumble Rooski would be in that formation?
Oh my God,
You
dude.
hand it to the fullback and the fullback just does the same thing to the running back.
Oh my God.
Imagine they score a touchdown.
Imagine a quadruple reverse out of the full house. 32 personnel.
I mean,
Oh, the
let's try
cameraman
it.
would be going dizzy, dude.
Yeah, let's
I'm
try it.
surprised Jeff Levy hasn't pulled some shit like that out yet.
Well, with how the game is going to go on Saturday, I expect him to get cute.
Yeah,
I think
probably.
I think you should.
You
Like
know
sometimes
what?
you should sprinkle it in.
we, we we need to go full house, 32 personnel. We need our tight ends to be Stogner and Kobe McKenzie. We need Gavin Freeman at the tailback, and then we need Isaiah Coe and Rondell Bothroyd at the 2 fullback positions. Or DeJoun Terry, not even Bothroyd. DeJoun Terry.
Is this like a goal line formation?
Yes.
That's a touchdown.
Like what Texas tried and couldn't do. Texas tried it. Texas is in a full house. And they couldn't do it.
Well, Oklahoma is also the best goal line team in
Oklahoma
America.
is the best goal line team. They like we said in the last episode. Just let every team start from the 1 yard line. Whatever, let them score. We'll win.
Yeah, they are the best condom at the goal line.
They are.
You ain't breaking that bitch.
Trojan extra thick.
It's crazy how good they are at the goal line. We're getting way off topic. Sorry.
It was way off topic. I got to keep talking about it. The goal line stand is the best play in football.
Shows us how much heart your team has and how much they believe.
How much fart your team has. Anyways, next game. The first of the afternoon slate, we have the Bucks going into San Francisco. The Bucks coming off a nice win against Tennessee. San Francisco coming out of just a fucking
scumbag slaughterhouse.
Yeah, dude. That's a Pornhub special right there.
I feel bad that Christian McCaffrey wasn't able to get that 18 consecutive touchdowns.
Dude, I know. That does suck.
He tried so hard.
He did. San Francisco is favored by 11.5.
It's like me trying to score at the bar when I've had like 10 whiskey cokes.
It's like me being completely stone sober and trying to score with a brick. So, I think the 49ers will probably win this game. The Buccaneers just aren't good. Baker's trying his ass off, but there's only so much he can do.
You'll get that one game where Mike Evans just has like almost 200 yards, and then he'll just drop a pass that he shouldn't.
Yeah.
They've got the talent, but they're missing just the head coach.
Yeah.
Todd Bowles, nice guy, great defensive mind. He's a brilliant defensive mind, but as a head coach, it didn't work out with the Jets. Didn't work out last year with Tom Brady. It just is what it is, you know. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with being a great defensive coordinator. Vic Fangio, you know. Vic Fangio is one of the best defensive coordinators in football. Just
Dan Quinn.
Dan Quinn. Well, he got to a Super Bowl. Different.
Yeah, but
that was with a stacked Atlanta team.
That was.
So
OBJ just got murdered, by the way.
Yeah.
He just got sandwiched between 3 fucking Bengals. But yeah, 49ers probably win this game. They may even cover.
Yeah. Well, it's clear that when Trent Williams, Christian McCaffrey, and Deebo Samuel are all healthy, you can spread the ball around a little bit because Deebo is that much of a threat. You can give the ball to Juwan Jennings or
Brandon Ayuk.
Brandon Ayuk.
George Kittle.
Well, people don't even talk about how good, like, George Kittle's just kind of fallen off. Yeah. That's crazy. He's still like one of the best tight ends. Yeah,
he doesn't get as much love
as
he used to. He is. He's not a stats guy though. He's
a football psycho.
Yeah, his play doesn't stand out on the stat sheet, but true football fans know George Kittle's a fucking badass, man. So
yeah,
Oklahoma.
I think the 49ers win this game as well.
Yeah. No, certainly. Next game we got.
Jets of Bills, right?
Yeah, it's almost. What do you think's gonna win that one? Yeah, as bad as the Bills have been, do you
The Bills
still
are
think they'll win?
the Bills are dead. The Bills are absolutely dead.
Yeah.
Like they fired Ken Dorsey. I'm pretty sure you saw that.
Yes, I did.
They fired Ken Dorsey because of the 12 men on the field. No, I'm just kidding. It's because it just hasn't worked out.
Yeah.
Josh Allen is an awesome talent. He just needs to stop trying to be Superman on every play. Like you have to know when it's like time to be a little bit more protective of the football.
Yeah.
Like look at Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow does not have as much talent. He's a great quarterback, but he knows like he doesn't have as much talent as like Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, some of these upper echelon quarterbacks. But he's protects the ball and he's smart decision maker.
Yeah.
I don't know what is going on with Josh Allen. Like you can't really put him in the same tier. Like everybody has him as like the second best quarterback in the NFL. You just can't this season.
No, I didn't think you
Can't.
could before.
Like after Brian Daboll left, you think
Yeah.
like that's when it started to trend down for him?
Well, yeah, I've thought his play style just isn't conducive to long lasting success in the NFL because it's so hell bent on almost broken plays in a way that I feel like it's hard for that to find long term consistency. That's why you see like the Pat Mahomes, the Joe Burrows, the Aaron Rodgers, the Tom Brady's. That because if you think about it, look, when you get a good offensive coordinator, which Brian Daboll was, maybe Ken Dorsey isn't, so that certainly helps. But you get these great offensive minds in there, they're going to develop a scheme that's going to work. And if you play comfortably within your scheme, then you can go so much further than just trying to play off a whim. You know what I mean?
It may not be so much that Ken Dorsey's like a bad coordinator. It could be just the fact that Josh Allen is trying to do too much. Like he knows how good he is. He's freakishly talented. He's got one of the best arms in the NFL.
Oh, he's an uber athlete, dude.
Yeah, and he's got the arm talent, but
Ravens just sealed this.
Yeah, you need like a Brian Daboll, like a coach that's going to be like, hey, fucker, like protect the ball. Like we're going to win this game.
Yeah.
But I mean, I said at the beginning of the season, after what happened last season, I didn't have Baltimore as a playoff team. I mean, not Baltimore, but I didn't have the Bills as a playoff team this year.
Yeah.
Just Tre'Davious White always gets hurt. He's the best player on their defense. He's always hurt. Von Miller's getting old. Ed Oliver's still good. Jordan Phillips is still good. Matt Milano's out for the season.
Yeah, Jordan Phillips, hey man, that's some Sooner love right there. I feel like he kind of went away for a little bit, and he's come all the way back.
I just need to find a player that isn't a Sooner. Let's see who on that team isn't a Sooner. Rasul Douglas, but he was a Packer.
Fuck you.
No, but the Bills, they're dead.
Yeah.
I don't know how they can turn. I don't know.
I don't know that it's time for them to blow it up because they have a lot of pieces there, but they need to do something. I think they need to start.
I'm blaming Sean McDermott.
You think so?
No. I think the experiment's over. You had a chance to get to the Super Bowl. Obviously, like the bullshit that happened with overtime against Kansas City sucked, but
I think they held on to.
You're a defensive-minded coach. Cincinnati found a way to minimize that offense and make it to the Super Bowl when the Bills didn't.
Yeah.
So, for me, it's Sean McDermott. I don't think Josh Allen's the problem. I think he'll figure it out. It may take about a year, but I don't know.
We'll see.
Did you see Trayvon Diggs' tweet about getting Stephon Diggs out of there?
Yeah, he said he didn't start playing great until Stephon got there.
Which is kind of true, but I mean, okay, that you could say that for almost any receiver. Look what happened when Jamar Chase was drafted to the Bengals. Like Joe Burrow was already good having T. Higgins, but then they added another top receiver, and then he went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes has Travis Kelce, had Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Andy Reich is such a brilliant play caller, and Patrick Mahomes has blossomed into the best quarterback in the NFL that he can make almost any receiver work now.
Yeah.
But a top receiver is going to help you. So,
totally
I mean, that's like diva watch. We need more divas in the NFL for sure. But I don't think they let go of Stephon Diggs unless he like asks for a trade. Why would you want to leave like a talented quarterback that's getting you the ball? I know you want to win. There's a recipe for it.
Yeah.
Get a new coach and rebuild your defense. Maybe not rebuild it, but add a couple of pieces. Right now, they need an offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
And they need to have whatever Blue Mountain State did with their drug Olympics.
I do think they need an infusion of youth.
They need to shrink.
Yeah. I feel like
they are getting old.
They have so many old players. They've had the same core team which in theory you want when they're good, but like also in the NFL, it's like that don't last too long. You know what I mean? Primes don't last. Yeah. Prime doesn't last too long. And so you need to consistently like have your team set up like a treadmill at certain
Kids are getting better. Kids are getting much better. So yeah, Bills might be dead. But on the flip side, they should beat the Jets.
They should beat the Jets.
Now, the Jets beat them once, and that was with Zach Wilson. That was when Aaron Rodgers got hurt. Because it's a divisional matchup throughout the record books, they know how to play against the Bills. Yeah. So they'll figure out a way to win. But it's kind of like, at the same time, a revenge game.
Yeah.
It's like, how the fuck did we lose to the Jets?
And it's in Buffalo, which, it's a 7-point spread. The Bills are favored by 7. I think Bills win, Jets cover.
Think so?
Yeah.
Okay, put it in your dick pics.
Yes.
So the team that beat the Bills, so the Vikings at the Broncos. Broncos are getting better.
No, we got Seahawks Rams.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Let's talk Vikings Broncos.
But that's not in order. That's Sunday night. Seahawks Rams is afternoon game, man.
Yeah, but I want to talk about the Broncos.
Okay.
Okay, fine. We'll do Seahawks Rams.
There's not much to talk about. Both these teams.
Yeah, exactly. They stink.
The Seahawks record, I think, gives them a little bit more blow than they're really worth. I don't think the Seahawks are that good. Gino, we've said it multiple times, is not that good. He's kind of reverting back to classic Gino. He did look good last week, but the Seahawks are just they're a 50-50 team. You don't know what you're going to get on any day. So I think the Seahawks win.
You have JSN on your team. Get him the ball.
Yeah.
He's good.
He is good.
Like, you've got to figure it out. Like, he makes yards after catch. He's a good hands guy.
All-State.
You're in good hands with JSN. Yes. Their defense, their secondary is so good. But they
almost said All-State, who's in your wallet, which is Capital One. So
what's in your wallet?
I'm stupid. Yeah. I said who's in your. God damn it, dude. Seahawks should win this game, though.
I could see the Seahawks winning the division, though. I mean, I know the 49ers are more than likely going to win it. I could see it happening. I've seen crazier things.
I could certainly see it happening. 49ers, if they stay healthy, it should be San Francisco's, but Seahawks can get on a stretch run here, man. So that'll be a fun division to watch.
Yeah.
Much like the AFC North, that'll be a fun one to watch. But here's your game. The Vikings Broncos. What do you think, man?
Broncos have gotten better. These are the exact same team.
Yeah.
And the fact that both rough start, gotten better. Josh Dobbs is playing well. Yeah, peaking. Fuck. The Vikings are peaking. I didn't have that on my bingo card.
I did not either.
I had them as a 6-win team.
Yeah. But hey, man, Josh Dobbs is that dude.
He's playing well. He's going to be a very, very serviceable backup. He might be like a top 3 and not 3 backup. Dude, Jake Browning just got absolutely fucked.
Did he?
Yeah.
Missed it. But
yeah. Broncos, they've gotten better. Russell Wilson looks better.
Yeah.
The media, like guys like us, and then like also the media like to shit on like a player and then like have an awesome redemption story. It's kind of fun to shit on Russell Wilson just because of the kind of weirdo that he is, Mr. Unlimited. But it's like I'm happy for him. Like he's kind of starting to find his groove.
I think the NFL is a better place when Russell Wilson's playing good football.
Yeah.
It's good to see him play good. As much as I hated him in Seattle because of Seattle and because of the heartbreakers to Green Bay, I like seeing Russell Wilson play good. That throw he made to Cortland Sutton was insane, dude.
Unbelievable.
It's crossbody, all
That
clear
was
across the field.
hey fucker, I'm back. Throw.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, that was a hey man, gentlemen. I'm back.
Yeah. Mr.
Russell Wilson.
Unlimited is back.
But
He had a couple of danger witches.
he did have a couple danger witches. But I think the Vikings win.
You think so?
I think so.
I like the dump off play that they had a play design where they would like Russell Wilson would step up in the pocket and just like fling the ball to P Ryan.
Yeah.
They did that like 3 times. That's a good play because like they're blitzing and it's obvious that they're blitzing and
it's a great blitz counter.
Yeah.
It's almost like a screen.
He did have one like bozo mistake is at the end of the game when it was the first time that the Bills ran an all-out blitz. He like didn't step. He stepped up into the pocket.
Yeah.
And then the second time is when he like basically just Hail Mary, pray that this ball gets to Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah.
But like he's got a couple of things to fix.
Can we talk about them running fucking fire drill field goal and still getting lucky with it, dude?
Yeah. It was basically a game of who wants to lose more.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was. The Bills wanted this loss more and they got it.
They did.
But you think the Vikings are going to win?
I think so.
Is Jefferson back or is he still on? Like
I thought J.J. Jones was back last week.
No, and I thought so too. But he was just cleared to practice. But he's still doubtful. Yeah. He's still doubtful to return.
Hey, I mean, they're better without him than they are with him. So, not
record-wise.
Really,
record-wise. Yeah.
But no, I think the Vikings win. They're playing great football right now.
Yeah, they're getting a lot better.
They are
smarter on defense too.
Yeah. Now, if the Broncos get marvelous Marvin Mims the ball, then maybe. But I see the Broncos or the Vikings.
But I don't know if Marvin is as good as like Cortland Sutton. Like that's your main target.
Yeah, no.
Marvin Mims is awesome as a special teams returner and like getting him the ball like a few times, but Cortland Sutton is definitely like your number one. Judy's gotten a lot better too.
Judy has played really good last few games.
What happened to Tim Patrick?
Really good. I have no idea.
I didn't see anything in the offseason about him.
He's got 2 first names. Kind of sucks.
Yeah. Let's see. Who are other 2 first name guys?
I guess technically Jamar Chase would be one.
Keaton Mitchell's
another one. Well, yeah.
Mitchell?
Yeah.
Yeah, he sucks. It's not like he's good.
Not at all. Who do you think wins though? Broncos or Vikings?
I think because it's at home, it's in Denver.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with the Broncos.
Okay.
Also because I hate the Vikings, just like I hate the Packers and Lions.
That's fair.
I don't want to hate the
Lions.
Lions.
We hate you. Dude, I hate the fact that I have to hate the Lions.
Yeah.
It makes me so upset.
It's like the meme that you see of fucking what's his name pointing the gun and he's crying.
Yeah. I hate hating the Lions, man. But they picked the wrong division.
I hate having to love the Lions, but I mean they've just been such a dumpster fire, and now they're good. But I don't feel the same way about the Vikings. I hate the Vikings, so give me the Broncos.
All right, and then probably the game of the week, Monday Night Football, Eagles at Chiefs, Super Bowl rematch.
This should be the highest rated game of the season.
Oh, 100%.
I would be surprised if it's not. This is a gauntlet. This is like WWE fucking like Undertaker versus like Triple H type shit.
It's like John Cena versus The Rock, man.
Yeah. Who do you think wins?
I think. Oh, goddamn. Right now, it's in Arrowhead.
Is Jalen Hurts, is he okay?
I think he's fine.
Jamar Chase touchdown.
and then they didn't get the onside kick. Surprise, surprise. Um,
Well, fantasy owners, there you go.
yes.
At least you got your Jamar Chase touchdown. But has Patrick Mahomes figured it out with his wide receiver core? Rashee Rice.
Yeah. I just think
Justin Ross is so good, and I'm surprised they haven't figured it out with him yet.
I know.
Or maybe he
I know.
hasn't figured it out.
I do think the Eagles win though.
Yeah.
I think they're the better team. I think they have it.
I wish we had somebody else like on the podcast that was working with us that was an Eagles fan, just so I can ask them. I feel like Eagles fans are very like uptight about their team right now. Like if you were to say anything like, "Hey, the Eagles are kind of struggling," like I don't know, like I'm pretty sure they would just blow a fuse.
They'd go full Philly cheesesteak on you.
Yeah.
But no, I think Philly should win this game. It's gonna be a fantastic fucking game though. It's definitely not one I'd put any money on. They can go either way.
You think it's like high scoring, or are you thinking like 34-30? Which is kind of high scoring.
Yeah, it could be 3-7. It could be 34-30. It could go either way, man.
Listen, 34-30 sounds high scoring, but nowadays, I mean,
I guess that's fair. When you have like the Rams Chiefs game from a few years ago.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. It could go either way. Both these defenses could show up and show out. You know, both offenses could do the same thing. Or one offense can do one, and it could be a blowout. It could be a 2-point game. I don't think it's a blowout, but it could go either way. And I can't wait to watch. Monday night's going to be so fun.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely going to be watching that game. Dick pics.
Who do you think wins?
I don't know. Probably the Chiefs.
Okay.
It's the Chiefs. Their defense is so good. And the Eagles secondary has a lot of issues right now.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because their secondary is awesome. Like they've got a lot of the same guys.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the deal is. But dick pics.
Yes.
All right.
You want to go first? Okay.
Yeah, I'll go first.
All right, you go first.
I'm going to take the over in the Texans game.
Okay. I like it. My first one, I'm going to take Seattle to cover the -1 point spread.
You're going to take them to cover?
Yes.
Okay.
Watch them fucking win by 1.
Oh, my pen doesn't work. There it goes. Texans over. You said you had Seattle to cover?
Yes.
I'm going to take the Dolphins to cover.
Okay. What's that, -13.5?
Yeah.
I am going to take Dallas to cover.
Bastard, that was mine.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping you wouldn't see that one. I was going to pick that one last.
Yeah.
I should have just taken it.
That's a gimme.
I'm going to take the Steelers to win. Steelers money line.
Fuck you. That was mine.
That's very risky. Because the Browns are clearly playing better.
Well, yeah, but yeah, I don't know.
It's kind of like the Bears versus the Packers.
Yeah. I'm going to take Houston to win.
Houston to win?
Yeah.
Okay. Damn, there's really not.
I don't know a lot of games you want to put money on, huh?
You know what? 45.5. I'm going to take the under in the Seahawks-Rams game.
Okay. I'm going to take Washington to cover -9.
Washington to cover?
Yes.
I like that one. That's a good one. And then I'm going to take the Broncos to win.
Okay. And for my last one, I'm going to take the under in the Bills-Jets game. 39.5.
I like that one.
Yup.
You went safe. You went safe.
Trying to make some risky. Money. Yeah, I'm trying to make some money, man.
Nothing is ever safe when you're betting in the NFL, though.
That is true. But I do feel pretty safe with these.
I got to make sure to wake up to put this one in.
Yeah, me too. Going to be on an all-time boozer.
No more international games.
Oh, was that the last one? Last weekend's was the last one for the season?
Yeah, I think
Thank
so.
God.
Unless there's like a team playing in like
Mexico or something.
Mexico.
Argentina.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a Jets-Packers game
Messi.
in Antarctica.
Over the ice wall.
Yes.
They don't want us over there.
Any other things you want to touch on before we get out of here?
Yeah. Did you ever do your James Franklin presentation?
I did not, but here's what I'll say. All right, I'll say this.
Dalton.
Much like I said, I'm a busy guy. All right, busy guy.
Everybody shit on this guy.
Said, it's kind of hot. Much like I said a couple weeks ago, I think James Franklin is the most properly rated coach. I think he's the guy that can get it done there. I just think he's got so much he's up against in terms of Michigan and Ohio State. He doesn't even have the benefit of not having to play them. Think about Georgia. Think about Georgia and Kirby Smart and how much harder it would have been if they'd been in the same division as Alabama.
Let me counterpoint. So when there's a 12-team playoff and they get in, do you think they get anywhere near the Natty, or do they lose like in their first game?
I think they can. I just think they'll have to be on the right side of the bracket. But I think they can. I think they have to figure things out on offense. I think they're offensive coordinator away from being a national championship level team. Because Manny Diaz is one of the best defensive coordinators in all of college football.
They can never win the big one, though, with James Franklin. Like, it's always the same thing. Look, Penn State has won national championships, so, like, that's in their sights. Like, yes. They want to win another one, but they haven't been able to do it with James Franklin, so.
That's the thing. Have yet. It's not that they can't, it's that they haven't, okay? And I think they can. Like I said, I think they're an offensive coordinator away from being able to do it. Look what Michigan was. Michigan could move the ball for shit, but they got an offense in there that works, and now look at them.
Well, they also hired Jim Harbaugh, and they've been getting better since.
They also hired Connor Stallions. They were getting a lot better since.
Well, hired, you know. He resigned, and guess what? They beat Penn State.
Yeah, but he had already done his work for the week, or for the season.
Okay.
I think James Franklin's a great coach, and I think he can do it with Penn State. But you look at Penn State, you kind of look at Oklahoma and like these other schools that are top-tier programs, but not the top tier. They need some things to fall their way for it to happen. You know? And
so who's a better coach, James Franklin or Brent Venables?
Well, Brent Venables doesn't have enough under him. But I think Brent Venables would be the better coach.
Who wins a national championship first? Oklahoma under. You think so?
Yeah.
So if they win a national championship within the next 3 years, some of these, like if Oregon wins a national championship, if you're Penn State, you don't think maybe like you don't teeter like kind of on the edge thinking maybe we should tell this guy to fuck off? Or
I think if you don't see improvement in the next year or two, yes.
They also need to get more like 5 stars because Drew Aller was a 5-star, but it's just not cutting out. They remind me a lot of the Jets right now. Their defense is so good and their offense is just.
Look, they're not. That's the problem though. When it comes to recruiting, like they have to go walk into someone's living room and compete with Ohio State and Michigan. But here's the thing. They have to do that anyways. when you're recruiting at that level, all those guys are talking to Ohio State, Michigan, Alabama, Georgia, Oklahoma, Texas, USC. Like all those teams are in play. So you have to fight them no matter what.
Yeah, I was going to say Oklahoma has to compete with Texas, and Texas has so much money and a big brand.
Yeah.
And so, Oklahoma, they didn't have quite the talent that Texas had this year, and they won.
We never have the talent Texas has. Typically.
So coaching the talent matters.
Yes. But you keep trying to talk me in circles on this. I think James Franklin can do it. I just think with where Penn State is, because they have to battle against Michigan and Ohio State, I think they just have to have a couple things fall their way.
Yeah.
Like, think about it. If J.J. McCarthy wasn't it, or if Kyle McCord wasn't it, Penn State probably wins those games.
Well, Kyle McCord's not good, in my opinion.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think he's that good. I think having like 3 stud receivers.
He's definitely got the benefit of.
Yeah.
I tell you what, though, I think you put Michael Penix at Penn State. I think Penn State wins both those games.
Really?
Maybe not both
receivers.
Of them. Maybe not both of them. I'm thinking if you put Washington's offense at Penn State, they're undefeated right now.
They just need a stud receiver, and they need a quarterback that's not a statue. Drew Aller, I thought he could use his legs, but I haven't seen it much.
I don't know yet. But to sum it up, I think James Franklin is the guy. I think he can be the guy. They just need a couple things to fall their way. But there remains to be seen.
Okay, so to sum it up, James Franklin's the guy. Oklahoma beats BYU because BYU stinks. The trap games are going to be the most exciting games to watch.
We need Iowa State to win.
And then NFL.
My dick picks are going 5-0.
I'm hoping so, buddy. What did you have?
I had Seattle covering, Dallas covering. Okay. I had Washington covering. I had Houston money line. And then the under in Bills and Jets.
All right, I'm going to keep track of those.
Yeah. My wallet will also keep track of those.
See that. Oh. That's all I've got, man.
Yeah. I'm all tapped out. I got to take a shit, dude.
Love you guys.
So, anyways. Yes, this is the PigSkin Podcast. This is episode 13. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you agree with our picks. Or, like I always say, call us a couple of idiots because we are. But other than that, man, I'm just excited for a great weekend of football. And the season's getting closer and closer to the end. But this is when everything gets real. So.
And also the Ravens won. So there you go.
The Ravens did win. But, yeah. Everyone have a great weekend. Tune in next week for our Week 12 and Week 11 recap that we will likely post on Tuesday of next week as long as everything goes well. But, all right. Have a wonderful weekend.
Peace.